Hello, this is Chicago Windler checking in with you. Austin Burks is in studio this evening. He's keeping you all updated on the latest with a tornado warning for Williamson County. He's actually running the radar there at work, and what he's showing you right now is the radar velocity. And what this is going to show you is the very strong winds that are potentially with a possible tornado that if it were currently pushing in through Williamson County, it would be over the Bartlett area near Granger, and it is moving very quickly. So it's going to be just pushing east of Schwartner and moving toward Bartlett. It crossed I-35 and the Gerald area just a bit ago. It's moving very quickly, and a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located over Bartlett near Granger, moving east at 60 miles per hour. In Williamson County, a tornado warning is in effect until 9:30 p.m. Just to give you the lay of the land, we're waiting for this Pacific cold front to come through, and what we've watched is numerous areas of rotation. In this instance, we're seeing some higher potential for rotation, so much so that the National Weather Service did issue a tornado warning just because of the amount of spin or rotation that's being noted. You can see that Austin has circled in white the area where there is most likely to be a possible tornado, just near Bartlett and quickly pushing off toward the east. So this is what we want you to do. If you are in this area, please take cover immediately. This is going to be anywhere in the Schwartner area, FM 487, and heading toward the east. So those of you in Bartlett, please be in your safe place anywhere to the east of there. Also, please do the same. Go ahead and be in your safe spot at this time with a tornado warning that has been in effect. The latest radar scan does show perhaps that the rotation may have weakened just a little bit, broadened out just a bit more. The more close in that rotation is, the more likely that we have a tornado. And as of yet, we only have a radar indication of a tornado. But it's better to be safe than sorry. We know the history that Central Texas has in terms of severe weather. It has been a while though. Today's October 24th. The last time we had severe storms in our area that prompted a slight risk of severe weather from the Storm Prediction Center, that was all the way back on May 24th. So here you can see the area of spin, that rotation right over the Schwartner area. And this is in northernmost Williamson County. So those of you familiar with the Schwartner area, please keep in mind this moving toward Bartlett, quickly toward the east at about 60 miles per hour. If you are not in this area, I also urge you to continue to stay abreast of the latest information because there's a line of storms that hasn't quite made it into Travis County yet, but you can see as Austin is pushing in, it's just in northwest Travis right now, moving through the Bee Cave area. There are no warnings currently for Travis County. That said, these are strong storms that are racing through, quite a bit of lightning with them as well. So we have in red the tornado warning that continues until 9:30 for northern Williamson County. And then farther to the south, strong storms that could have winds up to 50 miles per hour working through areas of Travis County, now into northern Hayes County, portions of Blanco County as well. Big concern here will be potential for some damaging winds. There was a report not long ago of some wind damage out of Burnett of some 3-inch tree limbs that were knocked down. But the biggest concern right now is going to be the tornado warning. And you can see there's been a new warning that has just been extended by the National Weather Service just to the north and east of the original tornado warning. So this is going to extend eastward through southern sections of Bell County, just to the north of Bartlett, and then eastward into Milam County, now including the Cameron area. So while this latest warning has just been issued, let me go ahead and update that on our website. So I'm going to do that currently while Austin's going to circle for you the area of most likely rotation. This is going to be just to the east of Schwartner into Bell County. This is between Bartlett and Holland, areas of southern and southeastern Bell County, not too far from Davila and Buckholtz, heading into Milam County. The storm track that Austin is currently putting on this, pushing to the east, it's actually moving to the east about 60 miles per hour. He has a 40 mile per hour trajectory on it. I think it's moving a bit quicker than that, so the times of potential possibilities are a little bit more quickly than that. 9:17 is the time for the community of Vila. So here's the lay of the land. The yellow, that is a that is a tornado watch in effect until midnight. The orange, those are severe thunderstorm warnings, and in red, tornado warnings. Those are in effect until 9:30 p.m. All right, I'm going to pause just a moment because I need to send out this latest alert for the extension of the tornado warning that includes now southern Bell County, which is not in the CBS Austin area, but also into Milam County, which is. So we'll give all the folks a heads up. And let me find out. So the latest tornado warning is in effect until, I believe 9:30 p.m., but let me just double check for you. Until 9:30 p.m. So it's for Bell and Milam counties until 9:30 p.m., moving east at 50 miles per hour for the segment that is currently moving through Bell County, moving in through northernmost Williamson County. So we have 2 tornado warnings that are concurrently in effect for our CBS Austin viewing area. So for Milam County until 9:30. Let me go ahead and make sure I send that out just to give people a heads up. And you may actually be able to hear some pretty noisy storms that are happening in my backyard. Those of you who are joining me right now, if you flip on CBS Austin News tonight, Austin Burks is in. I am actually taking a vacation day. Bad timing, unfortunately, but hopefully I can kind of talk you through what's going on as you're seeing on radar there, what Austin is showing currently for our viewers on CBS Austin. So I'm trying to kind of help out from afar, and I hope that you are all safely inside. And given the amount of wind, I would also urge you, if you are downstream of the storms or east of the storms, get your patio furniture secured, your Halloween decorations secured. These winds are nasty. Okay, tornado warning, Milam County until 9:30 p.m. Radar indicated rotation, possible tornado, take shelter immediately. All right, so I'll send this out. That is done. The 2 red boxes, those 2 red outlines that Austin was showing, those are the tornado warnings. Both of them affect until 9:30 p.m. Northern Williamson County, Southern Bell County, and Northwest Milam County. So all of these areas are the spots that you need to be in a safe spot, away from any windows, interior room. Hopefully you know the drill, but I know many people are new or recent to move to Williamson County or to Central Texas in general, and so don't take this lightly. We have had a history of tornadoes, certainly nothing recently, but there are tornado warnings that are in effect for northern Williamson County, southern Bell County, and northwest sections of Milam County, all of them until 9:30 p.m. As of yet, I have not seen any reports of a tornado sighting. However, there are conditions in place. It's favorable that there could be some possible tornado activity. We're just at this point watching and waiting and trying to make sure that we warn everyone who could be in the line of these storms. So the tornado signature is where you can see a potential rotation. Right now, Austin is showing on our radar at CBS Austin the little bit of a hook that you can see right near the Bartlett area at this time. So that is where there could potentially be a tornado that is either on the ground or spinning up or trying to. There is some damage, I am told, and no power in Gerald. So I just saw a report of some damage that could be in Gerald. At this point, we do not know if it is directly related to a tornado or if it is straight line wind damage. I also see that there are some power outages perhaps in Williamson County as the storms are rolling through the Round Rock area. So just keep in mind, all of you, especially in northernmost Williamson County, are probably going to be dealing with the brunt of these storms, which are certainly making a racket out there. Tornado warning, again, is in effect for northernmost Williamson County. You can see that the wind velocity there that Austin is showing is roughly around 74 miles per hour. And I do see some of your comments, Noonie talking, and I saw earlier there was a question, but it's unfortunately I'm not able to go back and view that at this time, but I urge you all to make sure you stay in your safe spot. You can see that red box which encompasses the tornado warnings that are in effect for northern Williamson, as well. Round Rock, Anonymous, I see you on there. You said, is Round Rock in northern Williamson? Round Rock is in southern Williamson. You can see it south of Georgetown here on this map that Austin is showing. Round Rock is not in the tornado warning. However, strong storms are pushing through Round Rock as we speak. The areas that are of concern for potential tornado are now going to be east of I-35, east of Gerald. Now you can see that orange box. That is a brand new severe thunderstorm warning that has been put in place. This does include Georgetown, Round Rock, Austin, Bee Cave, Manor, Taylor, Elgin, Thayersville, out to the airport as well. So a brand new severe thunderstorm warning has just been put into effect. It is in effect until 10:15 tonight. Strong gusty winds will be the biggest problem. Cedar Park, yes, close to Lakeline. So Cedar Park, you are also in this warning, just to the west of Round Rock and on the side of Northwest Austin. So those of you in Cedar Park, the storms are currently right over you. Austin's doing a storm track so that you can see these storms as they quickly push across central Texas and move into very highly populated areas. You can see the times here, 9:12 for Georgetown. Current time is 9:11. Dripping Springs about 9:13. Dripping Springs High School, I should say. 9:15 Round Rock. Del Diamond 9:19. Camp Mabry 9:23. Austin 9:26. The Austin Executive Airport in Pflugerville right around 9:29, Manor 9:34, and Taylor about 9:36. The airport right around 9:40 p.m. Brand new severe thunderstorm warning has just been issued. This latest warning is until 10:15. Winds up to 60 miles per hour are possible, and there are over 1,700,000 people that are under this latest severe thunderstorm warning that has just been extended to include Austin, Round Rock, and Cedar Park. Not to be left out or minimized, we are still monitoring a possible tornado that has prompted tornado warnings until 9:30 p.m. for the areas you can see in red. This includes northernmost Williamson County, now east of Gerald. The rotation has pushed east of Gerald. It is now very close to Bartlett, and there are going to be some very strong gusty winds in advance of that as well, and also heading into southern sections of Bell County, southeast Bell, and northwest sections of Milam County, where you are under a tornado warning. All right, I'm going to pause for one more minute because I need to send out a new notification to all of you who have our CBS Austin app so that everyone else will be aware that there is a new severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued that does include Austin. Okay, so this is a severe thunderstorm warning that does include Austin and Travis County and Williamson County, all until 10:15 tonight. So let me go ahead and send this push alert out. So Travis and Williamson County, severe thunderstorm warning. And this is in effect also portions of Hayes and Bastrop County under the severe thunderstorm warning as well until 10:15. Granger radar just went down, so it looks like we're going to have to work off of the radar at New Braunfels. So apparently the Granger radar has gone down, so we will switch that over shortly. Unfortunately, what happens is whenever bad weather hits right over the radar site there in Granger, it goes down, and then unfortunately we have to switch to one that's a little farther off. But hopefully we'll be able to keep you updated on the latest as the system continues racing to the east about 60 miles per hour. All right, so sending this out with a link to our radar. Travis Williamson, parts of Hayes. Bastrop, winds up to 60 miles per hour possible, warning until 10:15 p.m. Please stay indoors. I cannot emphasize to you enough how important it is that you just not head out and try and spot these storms. It's dark, it's very windy, it's quite dangerous. Ameeker, you're asking about Gerald. The worst of the storm has already pushed east of Gerald. However, there is reported possible damage that has been spotted. So I am actually going to retweet a potential area of damage. It looks like there were some tractor trailer or trucks flipped on I-35 southbound service road just south of Gerald. This just came out from Mesomamas on Twitter about 9:12 tonight. So it's 9:15, so just a few minutes ago. Report of some damage in Gerald from what is likely a tornado or at least strong straight line winds. But there was certainly some rotation there, and that tornado warning is still in effect across the area that does include Granger and Bartlett. So just keep in mind that there is potential for some more spin-ups to possibly move through, and it's of the utmost importance that you guys stay indoors, safe, away from any windows, away from anything that could potentially harm you. So please be in that sheltered spot as the storms continue to push east now of Bartlett and east of the Granger area. So they are quickly going to be pushing out into Milam County as well. Now you can see a brand new severe thunderstorm warning has also been extended for the southernmost sections of the storm. We've got Blanco County and Hayes County, a new severe thunderstorm warning that has just been added to include Blanco County and Hayes County. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure to send that out as well on our CBS Austin weather app. And those of you who are tuning in on television, Austin Burks is tracking this activity for you, and you can find what you're looking at right now also on CBS Austin as well as cbsaustin.com. So there you can see the tornado warnings in red until 9:30 p.m. And I'm going to go ahead and quickly send a message. All right, you guys, you're watching radar coverage from CBS Austin. I'm kind of multitasking. As we are watching severe thunderstorm push through very quickly across the CBS Austin area. So if you're joining right now, I'm meteorologist Chicago Windler. We do have a tornado warning that is in effect for Bell and Milam counties until 9:30. Also a tornado warning that is in effect for northernmost Williamson County, including the Granger area. That is until 9:30 as well. And there is report of damage potentially from tornado in Gerald. Law enforcement reports overturned 18-wheeler and cars in the ditch along I-35. This is approximately 2 miles southwest of Gerald. This is estimated from radar data, but at the very least, thunderstorm damage, potentially tornado damage. So this latest severe thunderstorm warning that does include our southernmost areas. I know Austin currently is showing you where the potential area of rotation near Davila is. That's where the possible tornado would be, and continuing to push to the east about 50 to 60 miles per hour. But I also want to update you on the latest severe thunderstorm warning, and that one is for Bastrop, Hayes, for portions of Blanco, Caldwell, Hayes counties. This is until 10:15 for 60 mile per hour possible winds. So let me go ahead and send that out. So that's Blanco and Hayes until 10:15 p.m. Let me just make sure that I don't have any other. So it's Blanco, Caldwell, and Hayes counties. So I'll go ahead and add Caldwell until 15, winds to 60 miles per hour, hail up to 3/4 inch. Okay, so we have sent that out. Hopefully I could get this to work. I'm sending this and it's got too many characters. Blanco, Caldwell, Hayes. I'll do it this way. All right, those of you who are just now joining on Facebook Live, we have a very busy situation going on. Austin Burks is in studio. He's showing the storms that are pushing right across North Austin and the Domain. Also approaching Pflugerville, Austin Executive Airport area, moving through Round Rock as we speak, Barton Creek as well. The storms we're looking at currently are the severe thunderstorm. This is where there could be winds up to 60 miles per hour. At this point, not exhibiting the rotation that the storms farther north are showing. So these may have some hail up to 3/4 of an inch in diameter. These may have winds up to about 60 miles per hour. You can see Austin is currently tracking the storms in Hayes County, 924 for Jacobs Well, 925 for Wimberley, 932 for Driftwood, 937 for Hayes City, and 941 for San Marcos. Those of you in this area, be prepared for possible wind damage, tree limbs down, decorations blown over, trampoline in your neighbor's backyard. Please stay indoors if the storms are very close to you. If you have time to secure your loose objects, that would be a great idea if you have time to do so. But these storms are racing quickly, 50 to 60 miles per hour to the east, so you don't have much time. I would much rather you be safe and not worry about your property unless you are well enough east of the storms to be able to get out there and make those accommodations. We do have reports of damage along I-35, the service road 2 miles south of Jarrell. That's in northern Williamson County where there was a tornado warning, and there still is a tornado warning east of there for the rotation that is continuing near the Bartlett area and pushing east near Davila. All right, so I'm sending this next severe thunderstorm warning update. Let me go ahead and make sure I don't have any new information to pass along. We do have trailers are blocking the I-35 service road in Jarrell. Windows blown out of the Jarrell fire station. So this is a new update. Windows blown out of the Jarrell fire station. Please be aware of this. And it does appear that we have possible tornado damage, at the very least wind damage from these storms. So please make sure to be safe, stay out of harm's way. I'm going to go ahead and post that quickly on Facebook for everyone. I just posted that so everyone can read that report. It just came in a moment ago from the National Weather Service, and this was 9:21 p.m. And they have listed the information about District Command reporting trailers blocking the I-35 service road in Jarrell, windows blown out at the Jarrell fire station. So unfortunately, we do have some damage. I have not heard yet of any injuries. We hope that there are none, and we hope that you will take this seriously as well. Twitch was asking about the Domain area. At this point, they are strong storms to severe storms. Could pack winds up to 60 miles per hour. Power outages are possible, but that said, you may see that instead of seeing little ripples in the radar echoes, it's more of a straightish line that is through North Austin, and so that is more indicative of straight line winds as opposed to rotating storms. Anytime you see these little notches, that's where there could be some rotation that we need to keep an eye on. But at least through North Austin near the Domain, it looks to be all straight line wind damage in that portion of the storms. Those of you who are joining me right now, the tornado warning for Williamson County has been allowed to expire at 9:21 p.m. That was 3 minutes ago. Let me just double check and make sure that it's the entire warning or just a portion of the warning. I'm going to go ahead and read this for you so that you can get an idea. We have tornado warning in northeastern Williamson County, south central Texas, severe thunderstorm capable of producing tornado. And update number 2 shows still tornado radar indicated. I'm looking to see the cancellation. So at 8:46, the initial tornado warning was issued. At 8:56, the tornado warning was updated and still in effect. 8:59, tornado warning still updated. I believe that the cancellation on this has come since then, and I'm not able to see any explanation from the National Weather Service as to whether they are explaining that they did go ahead and clear it, but I'm going to go ahead and double check. Yeah, it just says expires. So I think that that will probably mean that at 9:30, they will let the tornado warning go. They haven't canceled it, but they've allowed it to expire. Anonymous asking, is Round Rock in the clear? Sounds like it's calming down now. Yeah, these storms are so quick to move through. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning issued for Milam County. That one's until 10:15 p.m. Let me get the information on that one. So yes, the winds and lightning are what caused the radar in Granger to be knocked out there. The National Weather Service does say that they do not expect a tornado event there, so it was likely winds that knocked out the radar there at the Granger radar site. So that's why we're using the New Braunfels radar site. Both of them cover the Austin area. We generally prefer to use the Granger site whenever we're looking at Williamson County storms, just because they're closer to that site. But yeah, thus far, the biggest thing is that there have been some reports of some damage, possibly wind, possibly tornado, along I-35 Service Road in Jarrell, or 2 miles south of Jarrell, and that apparently they are blocking the I-35 Service Road as well. There are some windows blown out of the Jarrell Fire Station. Certainly on radar earlier, those were showing up as potentially tornadic, but we will have to wait until the National Weather Service has a chance to go out and survey the data in order to know for sure if it was straight line wind damage or if it was potentially from a tornado. Obviously, these storms are moving very quickly, and so it's difficult, especially at night, to be able to ascertain right there on the spot. But radar did show rotation with that storm, and as we know, it's 9:27 currently. The National Weather Service, that does cover northern Williamson County, has allowed the tornado warning for Williamson County to be expired at 9:30. So in 3 minutes, that red box over northern Williamson County will be allowed to go. And the one in Milam County is still in effect until 9:30. We will have to wait to hear from the National Weather Service office that covers Fort Worth, which covers Bell County and Milam County, to determine whether they're going to extend that or issue a severe thunderstorm warning in its place. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and send out a new alert to those who have the CBS Austin Weather app. And by the way, if you haven't downloaded it, that's one easy way for you to basically be able to track storms. There's an interactive radar. You can follow all of the activity. Let's see, Carlos has a report. Cedar Park, not a problem. That is good to hear. Thank you for your report. We definitely don't want to hear of anything bad happening in any of our communities. The timeline that Austin has here, Wimberley 9:28. These are for the severe thunderstorms, the risk of damaging winds. Copeland 9:35, and obviously following basically what is a squall line across the area. Anonymous says, first time you've been in Austin to see weather like this. Yeah, a lot of people who have not lived here very long, we are actually a part of the southern edge of Tornado Alley, and we do unfortunately have to contend with severe storms and potential tornadoes from time to time, not nearly as much as our neighbors and friends to the north, for instance in Oklahoma or even in North Texas. They see them much more frequently than we do here in Central Texas. But you don't have to ask anyone in the community of Jarrell about tornadoes because of the historic one that had hit there back in May of 1997, which is actually the most recent top of the scale F5 or EF5 tornado. All right, new severe thunderstorm warning highlighted. These both are extensions or continuations until 10:15 for both the Travis County, Williamson County, Hayes County, Bastrop County, Caldwell County, as well as I believe parts of, I think the Blanco County portion has been allowed to expire just because the storms have raced to the east so quickly. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and send out the Milam County severe thunderstorm warning until 10:15. And those of you who are joining right now, hopefully you are safe and snug in your homes, staying away from these storms, aside from the obvious Oh, yeah, if you're from Wichita Falls, you've been there, done that. I hear you. I've got a girlfriend that grew up in the Wichita Falls area and has many memories and stories to tell of the uh, horrendous tornado that struck that community. All right, severe thunderstorm warning, Milam County until 10:15 p.m. winds. And it looks like the National Weather Service has gone with strong thunderstorms affecting portions of Hays County until 10:15. And good news, we have reached 9:30. The tornado warnings for both Bell County, Milam County, and Williamson County have all been allowed to expire. So this is a good sign. The rotation that spun up and created potentially some damage in Gerald. We will have to determine whether it was tornado or straight line wind. The rotation that prompted that tornado warning has weakened, and the National Weather Service offices have allowed both the Wilco and the Milam Bell County tornado warnings to expire. That said, we do still have severe thunderstorm warnings that are in effect until 10:15 as these nasty but quick moving storms race eastward. Those of you who are in the hill country, you are clear for the night. This is it for you. Everyone to the east, get ready. You're going to have some nasty storms quickly moving through with potential of winds up to 60 miles per hour, which will be enough to cause some power outages and bring some tree limbs down as well. So please be mindful of that. My advice, don't head out if you don't have to. Stay indoors where it's safe. Lightning is also a danger when thunder roars. Head indoors. So storm's definitely nasty. And we will be continuing to check up on the damage that was reported in the Gerald area. And hopefully we will be able to get to the bottom of whether it was tornadic or straight line wind. Either way, damage is damage, and you don't want to have that happen. You can see that the lightning is quite extensive, and there is again the potential that we see some very damaging winds. So at this point, we've got severe thunderstorm warnings pretty much across the board, from Milam to eastern Wilco to eastern Travis, well, central and eastern Travis, all the way down toward Hays County until 10:15 p.m. All right, so I'm sending that out, and it's good news that all tornado warnings have been allowed to expire. I would not let your guard down just yet. Those of you who have not seen the storms roll through, Mother Nature can bring some surprises, so better safe than sorry. So I would recommend that you be in a spot where you can easily take cover should another tornado warning be issued. But at this point, it's good news that we don't have any current tornado warnings. So those of you joining right now, tornado warnings have expired. Severe thunderstorm warnings do continue for our area. All right, tornado warnings expired. Severe thunderstorm warnings continue for areas along and east of I-35 until 10:15 p.m. All right, National Weather Service says they are keeping tabs on the tornado watch area, and it's likely that they will probably trim some areas from that warning or from the watch. The watch just means conditions favorable for tornadoes. As soon as I get that information, I will pass that along. Severe threat continuing across the tornado watch area. Damaging gusts do remain the predominant threat, but it's called QLCS, basically these little what we call quasi-linear convective system tornadoes, these are little spin-ups that can happen, and those do remain possible with embedded supercells interacting with a stationary boundary. So this does have a history of severe gusts, marginal severe hail, and a couple possible tornadoes, and it continues to track east across central Texas amid a highly sheared air mass. And what that means with a highly sheared air mass, that means winds in different directions. And so whenever you have like low-level winds coming in, let's say out of the south, and upper level winds coming in, let's say out of the north or northwest, you've got winds that are shifting in direction. And as a result, that kind of can create or induce a spin or rotation from upper levels to lower levels. So because of this highly sheared atmosphere, that makes it more conducive for potential storms to spin up or tornadoes to form. At this point, I do not expect to have any big, significant tornadoes, but there is the possibility of seeing some minor, brief tornadoes. You can also see out in the Western Hill Country, though the severe weather threat has diminished, for those of you in Burnett, Blanco, Gillespie, Llano, and Mason counties, there are still a few isolated storms. These are probably going to be short-lived and not a big deal. The main event is what's currently pushing through Austin as we speak. These are severe thunderstorms. Good news, though, is that the tornado warnings have expired. Best news of the day. All right, so the National Weather Service also says the severe weather threat will basically be severe gusts. Wind gusts are going to be the main threat, generally because of the fact that we have storms turning into more of a line as opposed to isolated supercells. So with these linear storms, it's more likely that we're going to have gusts of wind that could knock out power or potentially tree damage, that kind of thing. There could still be a little bit of brief rotation to spin things up, but the overall trend is that we will see just straight line winds that will continue to push east across the area. And more than likely, we'll watch as these race quickly off toward the east. They're moving at about 60 miles per hour at this time and continuing to push east of the hill country. Now, Austin has not moved this viewpoint in a while, and I'm not quite sure if that means maybe he switched over to the other computer or not, but we'll go ahead and leave it on here for now as I keep you updated on everything here on Facebook Live and also on YouTube. So thank you so much for checking in. For those of you who are just joining right now, I know the headline says tornado warning. Thankfully, the tornado warning has been allowed to expire. We do, though, have a report of wind damage. The fire station in Jarrell at 8:50 reported windows blown out as well. There were tractor trailers blocking the I-35 service road at 8:50 p.m. As you can see, Austin is now loading up his weather show, so as soon as it comes up, you'll be able to see the latest on where we stand. Okay, in yellow, those are the tornado watch area. A watch basically means conditions favorable for possible tornadoes. In orange, those are the current severe thunderstorm warnings. Thankfully, we don't have any red. Red would correspond to tornado warnings, and thank goodness we do not have any tornado warnings anymore. But you can see the line and the cold front. That blue line is the cold front. Austin's drawing it in an area of low pressure along it. So what we're watching is winds out of the south that are south and east of Austin, and winds out of the northwest to the northwest of the front. And as I was mentioning, that's kind of what's kind of inducing this rotation in some spots, this extra spin in the atmosphere. So we have the whole line with potential for wind damage from Cameron to Taylor to downtown Austin to Manor, all the way down into Hayes County as well. All the areas you can see illuminated with the orange outline and the white, those are current severe thunderstorm warnings that are in effect. There's a new report coming out of Travis County, the Windermere area, 1-inch tree limbs and shingles blown off roofs. I do think that this is probably straight line wind damage. I did not see anything indicating rotation within this area, but given the fact that these storms have potential of bringing in extremely gusty winds, just keep in mind it's possible that you could have some minor wind damage. As far as anything more significant, it does appear that Jarrell would be the most likely spot to have experienced anything that would be potentially from a tornado. And we'll just have to wait and see if there is any additional confirmation of damage so that we can get a better idea of whether it was straight line or tornado. But it's good news to know that the tornado warnings have been allowed to expire. Currently, no, all tornado warnings have expired, but severe thunderstorm warnings continue across areas from I-35 points east. Winds up to 60 miles per hour are the main threat. Okay. Continue until 10:15. All right, so that is at least a little bit of encouraging news. So we have a severe thunderstorm warning that is still in effect until 10:15 p.m. for most of our area. As you can see right now, it looks as though Austin's kind of putting his show together. So what I can do while he's working on that is I'll actually switch over to my computer here. There's my Facebook page. Hello, Facebook page. Let me see. I think I need to do a little switcheroo so that you can see my radar. Let's see. I think if I pop this up right here, hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm seeing. Let me go back. This is radar scope just so you can see. And I need to switch it from the Granger radar site, which we know went down earlier, and instead put it on the New Braunfels radar site. So let me go ahead and do that for you right now, and we can give you the latest and the greatest. So here is a look at radar scope from my home computer while Austin's figuring out his show on his side of things. Let me just verify that this is actually coming through the way I think it is. Let's see. It's a little trickier when I'm panning around on my computer. All right. Hopefully I can get it back to what I was trying to show. There we are. No, it's still showing my Facebook page. Sorry, you guys. I thought it was showing the radar, but unfortunately it was not. It was showing a different thing. So let's go ahead and go back over to what Austin was sharing with us on the weather computer. All right, so we're back to his radar view. I was going to try and show you my radar view, but I just didn't put it together and set it up prior to firing at Facebook Live. So apologies to you on that one. So right now we are looking at a line of severe thunderstorms. Time now is 9:43 p.m. and we've got multiple severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. They'll be in effect until 10:15 tonight, and then additional warnings will likely be issued farther toward the east as the storms continue racing to the east, about 50 to 60 miles per hour. Pleased to say that the areas of concern from earlier, which were showing potential rotation, have weakened, and that is why we no longer have tornado warnings in effect, but we instead have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. They do cover Milam County, including Cameron and Rockdale. They cover Williamson County, including areas like Thrall and Taylor. They cover Travis County, including Pflugerville to downtown Austin. And you can see some of the storm reports that had already been reported as well. So a new severe thunderstorm warning has just been updated, still in effect until 10:15 p.m. for winds up to 60 miles per hour, hail up to nickel-sized. That is going to be for areas including Caldwell County near Luling as the storms approach there soon. So there is going to be potential that these storms kind of move a little bit farther downstream. So Caldwell County, severe thunderstorm warning for you until 10:15. And this is radar indicated winds up to 60 miles per hour, hail up to nickel size. As you can see, the future track showing the potential future radar is something that Austin is currently kind of going through, showing the evolution of the storms. You can see to the west, we've got northwesterly winds behind the front. To the east, we've got south and southeasterly winds ahead of the front. And so the junction of those is the cold front, and we've got that squall line of storms that is moving quickly eastward along the cold front itself. Let me go ahead and check. I'm going to check over here on my other computer. I'm curious to see how much rain has fallen with these. One thing I will tell you is because of the fact that the storms moved through so quickly, I actually don't think we saw terribly high rainfall totals. There are a couple spots that have seen totals of about 1 inch to 1.25 inches. I see Lake Austin at Quinlan Park. There's a report of 1.1 inches of rain, 1.3 inches at Lake Austin at Cortana Shores, 1.27 inches reported at Lake Austin at Bunny Farm, Bull Creek at Loop 360. There is a report of 1.24 inches. So there have been some locations that have indeed reported some decent rainfall reports. I'm going to see if I can switch over to a different source. I can't guarantee I can do it because I know Austin's kind of currently looking and working on his, I don't know if I can do it. Well, I can show you radar scope here. Let's take a look at this, see if this will work. I switched it to radar scope. Why isn't it showing it? Nope. We're kind of eavesdropping on Austin as he's prepping his graphics, and which he's got some great stuff going on, which is absolutely fantastic. But I was going to show you some auxiliary stuff in the meantime. And for whatever reason, it is not popping up like I thought it would. So apologies on that. It's just showing Austin's computer, which is fine. He's looking up some camera streams at this time. Let me see if I can pull it over. Well, I can certainly show you our website. This is only showing my Facebook page. Let me see, do I have to switch it over here? Actually, this will work just fine. Let me show you the LCRA totals. This was what I was going to show you in terms of the rainfall that we have seen so far. So this is going to be rain since midnight, and I'm going to put on the county boundaries, and I'll also show you the current radar here. And so as I zoom in here, this is going to show some of the rainfall totals that have fallen with the storms, which we are still under a severe thunderstorm warning along and east of the cold front until 10:15 p.m. You can see some of the rainfall totals. We've seen 1.2 inches in parts of northeast Travis County near Shoal Creek, over 1.2 inches, 1.27, right near Ranch Road 22. And Bunny Run Farm at Lake Austin from the LCRA site there. At 1.3 inches, Cortana Shores at Lake Austin at Quinlan Park has 1.11 inches. But in contrast, there have been some locations that have picked up well less. You can see right now through the downtown Austin area, some of these gauges have only picked up, 1/10 of an inch or so. So not a whole lot of rainfall in comparison to some of the others, but just keep in mind that yes, we have seen some pretty good amounts of rain falling from this so far. All right, let me go back to the camera site. Oh, nope, it's not on that site right now. I think that Austin is probably going on the other computer, but we're fine. We'll stay with this for now because I don't want to distract him from what he's doing. And let me see if I can show some other sites just to help you all out. Let me go, this is ATX floods. I was just going to check and see if there was enough rain to cause any closures, and no, there's not been anything new that has popped up. All of these closures are leftovers from back in September and other times. The rain's going to quickly stop, by the way, as everything kind of pulls through and pushes off toward the east. Show you the latest from the Storm Prediction Center, and this is again showing the slight risk of severe thunderstorms through our area. And I'm going to go ahead and show you this site right here, which is the mesoscale discussion. And this is basically tracking the area of concern for potential additional severe thunderstorm activity. You can see the areas shaded in red, which are more or less east of I-35 and pushing to the east. This is going to be the next area of concern where the tornado watch is still in effect, and we're kind of monitoring the activity along the way with it. I'll show you the National Weather Service radar, and this is a pretty good view of the storms as they're marching off toward the east. And currently we do have multiple warnings. Let me see if I can plot those on here. It might not let me since I'm doing this through my through the mouse control. There are warnings that are currently in effect all along this line, through Milam County, through Travis County, through eastern Williamson County, all the way down into Hayes County, Caldwell County, western Bastrop County, eastern Hayes County, all under severe thunderstorm warnings until 10:15 p.m. And we'll see if any of these will be extended farther out in time. Also, something I haven't really talked much about is hail. We've had some half-inch hail reports or indications on radar. I'm not seeing anything that is consistent with severe hail, so really the biggest concern is going to be severe wind. And by that, we're talking about winds that would be up to anywhere between 50 and 60 miles per hour. So it'll be interesting to find out if the damage that was reported earlier is consistent with tornado or just straight line wind damage. Also thought I would share with you, this is going to be a look at power outages, and you can see that Texas is among areas that have some power outages. Just give it a second, it's going to plot for you some of the areas that have power outages currently. And at this point, it does look like there are some outages that do include parts of Williamson County, Bell County, Milam County. Kind of hard to see with this blue on the black background, but it looks like about 25,000 customers are tracked in Williamson County by Austin Energy, and of those, it looks like 3,000 outages. So overall, it looks like not a terribly high amount. Bluebonnet has 0 outages. That's great news. And it looks like Encore through Williamson County has a little over 4,000 people with power out. PEC, Pedernales Electric, just in the 20-something range of power outages. So that's actually somewhat good news that it has not become worse of a situation. Also, I'm going to quickly check on TxDOT. Remember earlier I mentioned that we had, let's go to the default location, we had a report on the service road of I-35 of traffic being stopped there because of tractor trailer that had been flipped there. So I always like to kind of check in on TxDOT from time to time to see if there are any other significant issues that might be weather related, and I don't believe there's anything additional. It does say the browser is out of date. I'm not sure about what that is. Now going back to warnings, the biggest areas of concern continue to be right here through central Texas. Again, here's that tornado watch that is encompassing much of south central Texas. And we'll go down a little bit farther to the south to, whoops, didn't mean to go down all the way to the Houston area, but we do have areas that are under severe thunderstorm warnings until 10:15 tonight. Let me go back and see if we've got the other weather computer handy, and I think that Austin put his show on the other computer, so we're not going to be able to share that with you. So let's go back over, and I'll show you a weather forecast site. while these storms are pushing through. And again, the biggest factors are severe thunderstorms, potentially with damaging winds. Warnings are in effect until 10:15 tonight. Current time is 9:55, so in 5 minutes time, Austin Burks will be on TV on CBS Austin, giving you the full wrap-up of the storms as well as the timeline of what is next. And here's a weather computer site that I enjoy using. This is called Pivotal Weather, and it's making me log in. I was going to show you the latest on the trajectory of the storms, but as you can see here on the National Weather Service radar site, the storms are continuing from Milam County, eastern Williamson County, eastern Travis County, eastern Hayes County, and all the way down into northwest sections of Bayer County, just to the north of San Antonio. Rainfall totals have ranged pretty dramatically from only a few hundredths or a tenth of an inch to as much as an inch and a quarter, with some of the heaviest totals through northern sections of Travis County like Pflugerville and northwest Austin as well. There have been a number of spots that have picked up over an inch and a quarter. I'm just going to check and see. Another damage report came in. This is a delayed report. This is from 8:25. 3-inch tree limbs and broken power poles 2 miles northeast of Granite Shoals. So that was one report that came in earlier. In addition, let's see, still have the severe thunderstorm warnings in effect until 10:15 p.m. Side note, looking ahead to tomorrow, there is the potential of wildfire danger just because of the strong gusty winds that are coming in behind this system. The areas that did not get a significant amount of rain are likely to experience some wildfire danger problems. So there you have it. I am actually going to hop on Max 2 in just a moment, and I'll share with you a little bit more as these storms push by. And I got the go-ahead. So I'm going to fire up my show on Max 2. Earlier, I was letting Austin do all of the controlling. When I say Max 2, that's just one of our weather computers, just so you know. But just wanted to make sure that he didn't need it before I hopped on there, since he's the one who's actually working today. The biggest things to note right now as we speak are that we have severe thunderstorm warnings still in effect until 10:15. There is the possibility that a new watch might be extended farther to the east of the CBS Austin area. Let me just confirm. 40% chance. So storms increasing across the front later tonight. Local threat of severe gusts and possibly marginal hail. Watch issuance is possible. And this might be to extend farther south and east than where the current tornado watch is in effect, which is scheduled until midnight tonight. All right, so I'm actually going to pull up my radar and we'll do a little hopping around looking at the latest with these storms as well. You will have to bear with me though, because since I haven't worked since Friday, I actually don't have a show put together, so we're just going to piecemeal it as we go. But hopefully you're able to watch CBS Austin News, and Austin Burks will keep you updated as well. I just want to make sure that anyone who doesn't have a television handy or isn't on the CBS Austin app to be able to watch the show will be able to at least get some kind of weather information. Okay, so let's head back here, and there we have it. Bingo. Okay, so here's a look at the rainfall totals over the last 24 hours, most of this happening within the last couple of hours across our area. And oh, hey, thanks for watching from South Bend, Indiana. We've got the storms moving through Austin. But here we have a look at the radar, and let me go ahead. I think I can expand this out just a little bit and make it a bit bigger. There you go. And now let me go ahead and we'll kind of look around and show you some different features on radar so that we can get the latest on the warnings and the watches and all this kind of thing. So first I'm going to plot the radar on, and I believe that the Granger radar site is still out, so I'm going to have to go ahead and manually edit the radar that I'm using to put the radar site from New Braunfels in. So let me go ahead and do that. All right, so here we go. The areas in yellow, that is the tornado watch, still in effect until midnight tonight. I do expect that it will be cleared for Burnett County very soon, as the severe weather threat has faded there, and it will probably be cleared pretty quickly for the rest of our area as well. Now, let me go ahead and remove the tornado watch area, which is the yellow, and what we're left with now is the area of the severe thunderstorm warnings. Downtown Austin, you are seeing the last of the steady storm activity push eastward, which is great news for you. Hopefully not too much in the way of damage. I've kind of been trying to monitor the National Weather Service to see if there are any significant reports of damage. The biggest thing is looking like it's in Gerald. In addition to the windows blown out of the fire station there in Gerald and tractor trailer flipped southbound Service Road I-35, we also have additional information that a large tree branch about 14 inches in diameter was snapped halfway down at exit 275 in Gerald. It blocked part of the access road just before the Golden Chick. So anyone familiar with the Golden Chick restaurant, that is where there may have been some tree damage. Also reports, as mentioned, in the Granite Shoals area of Burnett County, power poles broken, tree limbs down, and that occurred at about 8:25 p.m. The report for the Gerald area looks like it was about 9:40 or 9:42 to 9:50, somewhere in that time range, or I should say 8:42. My bad, that was over about an hour ago. But it doesn't look like the tornado threat is dwindling, is declining, and we're still just watching very strong outflow winds. So you can certainly see multiple areas of heavy rain as well as lightning as these storms push off toward the east at about 50 to 60 miles per hour. Let me go ahead and put it into current mode, and we'll kind of zoom in a little bit more closely on the storms, which frankly look like they are not as intense as they had been previous. So hopefully that's a harbinger of good things, or of better things to come, I should say. But the big question will be going, from here on out, is going to be to determine whether there was indeed a tornado that touched down in the Gerald area, something that National Weather Service will kind of get to the bottom of in the once the daylight comes. The heaviest of the storms right now through parts of Milam County are from the Hearn area down toward Milano, Goss, Hanover. You've got a lot of heavy lightning there. These storms continue to push to the east, so they'll be making their way towards Sutton as well as Benchley, Chrisman area. You've got heavy storms heading toward you. Let me go ahead and tweak this radar one more time. Looks like there's been a new severe thunderstorm warning that now includes Bryan College Station. Just a heads up on that one. And I'll go ahead and just focus in on the New Braunfels radar site for now. And that should give us a little bit of a better look at these storms. So farther to the south into Lee County, Lexington, the storms are right on your doorstep and pushing off toward the east. And it looks as though we'll probably have about 15 minutes or so before the storms arrive to you in Giddings. Sayersville, you've got the storms right over you. Bastrop, the storms are going to be there imminently, anytime now. Potential of seeing possible winds in excess of 50 to 60 miles per hour. Storms look quite a bit stronger as you head through the southern areas of Hayes County, San Marcos, you've got a ton of lightning currently. All of this marching up and down I-35 and 183, tracking to the east. So Lockhart area, you've got some very heavy storms currently over the area, and you do have severe thunderstorm warning still in effect until 10:15 p.m. I have a hunch the National Weather Service will probably extend some of these warnings out in time for our easternmost communities. So do be prepared for a potential severe thunderstorm warning for you in Bastrop, for you in LaGrange, for those of you in eastern Caldwell County, and for those of you in Lee County. I think that's probably going to be forthcoming as we get a little bit closer. Wes says it got scary for a minute. I'm glad to hear that you made out okay. And thank you all for continuing to keep up on this activity. It has been pretty busy, that's for sure. And thankfully, the tornado warnings have expired. There are still severe thunderstorm warnings, though, in effect until 10:15 p.m. I'm going to go ahead and remove the lightning layer, and now I'm going to go ahead and track this southern storm that's moving east of San Marcos, and I'll put it in, put a storm track in, and we're going to take this, I'm going to say about, we'll say 55 miles per hour, just to give you some new towns and times. Oh, speaking of San Marcos, National Weather Service just says a trained spotter reported a measured wind gust of 60 miles per hour. This is in San Marcos in Hays County, the intersection of West Center Point and Wonder World Drive. So those of you that are in San Marcos area, these storms do have power outage potential and wind damage potential. A report of a confirmed 60 mile per hour wind gust. These same storms that are affecting the San Marcos area now are moving east. So current time is 10:06. These are going to be moving toward Lockhart at 10:07, Dale at 10:12, Joliet at 10:15, 10:20 for Red Rock, Rosanke at about 10:30 tonight. So all of these areas are under severe thunderstorm warnings now until 10:15, and it's probably going to be extended beyond that time. So yes, a new report of wind damage and a gust up to 60 miles per hour, and that was reported for the San Marcos area. Now, the storms do look a little bit weaker for those of you in Bastrop County, which is good news. They don't look nearly as intense or strong as what we dealt with earlier over the Williamson County, for instance, area. Also wanted to let you all know that the storms farther toward the north and east, it does look like the severe thunderstorm warning for Milam County still in effect until 10:15. Have not seen yet if they are going to extend that. The National Weather Service in Houston is the one that has put out a severe thunderstorm warning that includes the Brazos County area, and that's going to be out toward Bryan College Station for 60 mile per hour winds, possibly a tornado, hail up to 1 inch in diameter. That also includes Burleson County, which is just on the other side of Milam County. So those are some of the other updates to offer you. Lee County, Lexington, you've got those storms moving through, and this is the area that I mentioned to you just now with the severe thunderstorm warning on it that includes Bryan College Station, and that one's going to be in effect until 10:15 tonight, 10:45 tonight for that one. So the question now is going to be how long until the National Weather Service either puts out special weather statements or additional severe thunderstorm warnings on these storms that are tracking off toward the east. Bluebonnet Electric saying they've got 1,800 members in Caldwell and Bastrop counties that are currently dealing with outages. So hopefully you are not among those people, but there are some outages that are being reported. Also, those of you who follow me on Twitter, I just retweeted some really strong gusty winds coming in through Georgetown when those storms pushed through Williamson County. So I just retweeted that. And let's see, just continuing to monitor for additional updates. Okay, so the National Weather Service has just issued a new severe thunderstorm warning. You can see it highlighted there. This is now in effect until 10:45. So new severe thunderstorm warning for 60 mile per hour winds, hail up to nickel size. This is including Bastrop County, Bayer County, which is San Antonio, Caldwell County, Comal County, Fayette County, Gonzales County, Guadalupe County, Hayes County, Lee County, and the eastern part of Travis County. So new severe thunderstorm warning has now been issued and does include all of those counties until 10:45 tonight. Oh, actually until 11:15 tonight, my bad. 11:15, the brand new severe thunderstorm warning until 11:15 tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and send that alert out. On our app, and then I'll get right back to you afterwards. But yes, new severe thunderstorm warnings have been issued, and you can see them here. I'll go ahead and put it back into looping mode so you can see the storms as they're pushing off toward the east. I haven't been able to keep up with all of the reports. I see Anonymous asking about Gerald. So far, what we've just heard is that there's wind damage. There was a tractor trailer, at least one, that was rolled southbound I-35 service road about 2 miles south of Gerald. Gerald Fire Station windows blown out, and tree limbs near the Golden Chick up to 14 inches in diameter down. So certainly some potential that there may have been a tornado touchdown in that area. All right, I'm sending out until 11:15 p.m. Okay. So I just put out a new push alert for those latest severe thunderstorm warnings that are in effect for the eastern areas east of I-35 as the storms continue pushing off toward the east. So eastern Travis, Hayes, Bastrop, Lee, Fayette, Caldwell counties, severe thunderstorm warning until 11:15 p.m. So those are the latest as far as the warnings are concerned. And still kind of watching to see if there are any additional reports of damage associated with the possible tornado that may have touched down in the Gerald area. But it does appear that the rotation with these storms has diminished, which is great news. There may still be some potential for some hail in the western Caldwell County area. So east of San Marcos into western Caldwell County, there is the potential of some hail with that storm itself. The majority of these storms, though, do look like they're just straight line wind. But while we've got a chance, let me go ahead and pop up the hail tracker just to give you an idea of the possible hail. And I'll zoom in right here and east of San Marcos, as you can see, there could be some hail. Those of you in areas west of Lockhart and right near Maxwell, near Martindale, there may be some hail in your vicinity, so just a heads up. Let me go ahead and check and see what the hail size indicator is showing. And I'm going to go ahead and query this bright blue, which is walnut-sized hail. So that could be enough to cause some damage. So just a heads up, if you're in Lockhart, for instance, this storm, if it stays at its current intensity, not only could it bring possible damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, it may also bring large hail potential. So just keep in mind, large hail is not out of the question in this storm moving into Caldwell County. Now, as you can see, we have the patchwork quilt of severe thunderstorm warnings, which do pretty much encompass most of I-35 and points to the east at this time. Currently it is 10:13 p.m. If you're watching CBS Austin tonight, you've got Austin Burks who's keeping you updated. Obviously we've seen more rain than this through the month. I accidentally flipped over to the wrong graphic. I thought I was showing the radar graphic. Here we are, back now to, this is going to show the rain threat. But yes, still dealing with potential for some nasty storms that are to the east of Austin, as well as east of now San Marcos, and possible nickel-sized hail, possible 60-mile-per-hour winds with the latest severe thunderstorm warning. Bastrop, Caldwell, Fayette, Hayes, Lee counties, and eastern Travis County, and that's the one until 11:15 tonight. Let's see. Joey says stay on alert just in case we go watches and warnings. Yep. Thank you, by the way, for passing that all along. Lori asking if you're clear in Jarrell. Yes, you are clear from this for now. And there is very little activity farther to the west, but let me go ahead and pop up what little there is, and I'll show you kind of the big picture with the SAT-RAD. So, oh, and I didn't even realize this. I've got one that shows the possibility of wintry precipitation. Let me go ahead and take that off. Haha. This is the big picture. And let me go ahead and show where the cold front is. Essentially, the front is continuing to push off toward the east. This is a little bit lagged, a little bit back, but the front is pushing east through our area as we speak. And there are a few tiny showers that are out in the Western Hill Country, parts of Llano and Gillespie and Mason counties. But Jarrell, you are in the clear as far as severe weather threat from here on out. These storms are not going to create too much of a ruckus, the ones that are still yet to come, the very isolated ones. The biggest concerns continue to be farther to the east from Lexington to just near Bastrop to northern Caldwell County, and then points off toward the east. And that's where we currently have the main severe weather concern and threat. All right, so I'm going to go back to radar view. And actually, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the radar velocity, and with this, I can actually kind of track, and I just need to choose the correct radar site. Bear with me while I do that. I'm going to track the winds within this to see if we have any that might be notable. So I think it just takes a little bit of time for me to pop this up. Come on, wind tracker, do your thing. Because the usual radar that I typically use is not operational right now, it's giving me fits. But okay, here we go. Just took me a quick second. So basically what I'm doing now is I'm trying to look for where the strongest winds might be. And currently there are indications of possible strong winds right near, kind of near the Stairtown area in southern, southwestern sections of Caldwell County. You are under that severe thunderstorm warning. And I'm going to go ahead and remove the warning layer just so I can query the little pixel here of wind. And it's suggesting perhaps winds up to about 62 miles per hour. So still there are some pockets, and as you can see down south where there could be some winds 50 to 60 miles per hour. The wind speeds do not look to be as strong as you head farther through Bastrop County where the storms are a bit weaker. And then once we get over into Lee County, north of Page in Bastrop County and west of Lincoln, let me go ahead and query some of these winds which may be a little on the strong side. Let's see, we've got about 48 mile per hour winds being indicated in western Lee County. So that would be sub-severe. 58 or higher is considered severe, but that's still pretty gusty and pretty nasty. And then as we head farther to the north and east, south of Milam County into Robertson County and areas like Caldwell and Chrisman, there are some indications of some higher winds, 53 miles per hour, 62 miles per hour. So yes, there are still some pockets of quite gusty winds within these storms. Let me go back to the radar. I'm just trying to find things that would be notable in terms of sharing with you kind of where the storms are. And if you are in Austin, I'm pleased to say we are now pretty much done with the threat in Austin proper. It's farther to the east where the biggest factors still remain. Okay, so you can see the storms racing eastward, Again, just to kind of orient you, the yellow corresponds to the tornado watch, which is in effect until midnight tonight. I'm going to go ahead and remove the watch. And now we are left with the orange outlines, which are the severe thunderstorm warnings that are in effect. Now, things that I'm noticing as I look at this are, let me go ahead and draw for you. The fact that most of this kind of seems like it's in a line, like so. And typically, whenever we have these little areas that jut out a bit, that can be indicative of what we call a bow echo. And a bow echo is basically just an area of very strong gusty winds. And typically from this bow, and by that I'm talking about kind of like a little C shape right here. See how it looks like a C shape? Typically some of the highest winds within these bows will be kind of at the apex of where the wind is blowing. So I would say it's likely that the strongest winds are currently on the leading edge of the storms, moving through western and east and central sections of Lee County. And then farther to the south, some of the heaviest storms are going to be into the Caldwell County area where there's quite a bit of lightning. And I'm actually going to query this because I'm curious to see how much lightning is being reported currently. So let's zoom right on in and let's take a little box to show how much lightning is being experienced, basically from the San Marcos area and on into Caldwell County through Lockhart, 222 lightning strikes. So definitely a lot of lightning for you. I see Andrea asking about Niederwald, and as you can see, you're pretty much right under some of the heaviest right now, pushing through not only eastern Hayes, but also western Caldwell County. So the heaviest of the rain is currently pushing eastward. So in Niederwald, you're just about through. I know it's probably been loud and certainly heavy rain. This is all moving off toward the east, so you will be done with it in the next, I would say, 15 minutes. These storms are moving very quickly off toward the east, and hopefully not any additional reports of damage or anything like that. So I'll go ahead and put this back into motion. And good news is that there haven't been any additional warnings issued. Let me double check and see if there have been any additional reports of damage. And aside from the last one that I mentioned to you, which was a 60-mile-per-hour wind gust reported near San Marcos at Wonder World and Centerpoint, that was at 9:42. Current time is 10:21. There are some power outages that have been reported, but the biggest area of damage appears to have been up in the Jarrell area, which was under a tornado warning earlier tonight. The report coming in at 8:50 of in Jarrell trailers blocking the I-35 service road and reports of windows blown out at the Jarrell fire station. So those were the reports coming out of WIlco earlier. And currently we are dealing with not tornado warnings, but instead severe thunderstorm warnings. And the biggest concern with these is for gusty straight line winds. So that's why there are severe thunderstorm warnings that are in effect. All of these in effect until 11:15 p.m., which include Lee County, Bastrop County, Fayette County, Caldwell County, and points toward the south. So anyone through I-35, you are clear of severe weather threat. Anyone out in the hill country, these storms don't look like they've got much staying power. They're not going to do much more. Those of you in even Milam County, the worst has moved through your area. Bryan College Station area, that actually looks like the worst of the storms currently is what's moving through the Brazos County area, to be quite honest. Lee County, you've got the storms that are moving right across Highway 77. The strong storms moving right through, or severe weather. I think the strongest of the storms currently in our area appear to be through Lockhart and Joliet, up and down 183 through central sections of Caldwell County. And all of this is continuing to press off toward the east at about 50 to 60 miles per hour. So let me go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and push this off to the east and give you some latest towns. Current time, 10:23, 10:26 for Rockney, 10:27 for McMahon, 10:32 for Hills Prairie, Delhi, 10:36, Alum Creek, 10:38, Rosanke, 10:41, Kovar at about 10:48, Cistern about 10:49, and 10:52 for Colony. And eventually those of you in Fayette County will get in on this as well, probably after 11 p.m. the way things are looking. All right. So there's the lay of the land. Now that we've got a little bit of extra time, let's see. Colleen says 35 south by Gerald still shut down. Thank you for that report. Left Round Rock and drove to Gerald. I do hope that everyone over there is okay. Oh, I didn't know I could scroll through the comments. Y'all, this is something new. I found I can actually scroll through these things. Good to see. All right, so Minerva says thanks. You're very welcome. My pleasure. Joey asking about tornado potential. Not gone for you in Fayette County, Joey, but not as evident as earlier. I will say I would keep an eye on the Caldwell County storm because it, if any, might want to try to develop some rotation. And I'll go ahead and put it on the velocity mode so we can check in and see if there are any obvious signs of rotation. And at this point, it looks like it's pretty much straight line wind potential. I'll kind of scan up a little bit farther to the north. I have to take off one little thing if I do. There we go. And just look for signs that would be indicative of anything aside from straight line winds. And at least for right now, it seems as though everything that's pushing from west east is making its way merrily along without trying to spin up at this point. So the leading edge of the gusty winds now reaching Luling, moving through Lockhart and Joliet and working eastward. So at this point, hopefully we're just talking straight line wind threat as opposed to anything more sinister. I am going to pop up some storm reports for you. It's been a second or two since the last storm reports have come in, and so I'm curious to show you what has transpired, at least what has been conveyed to the National Weather Service office. And given the amount of storms and the ferociousness of them at some points, I'm actually somewhat relieved, to be honest with you, that we haven't seen more in the way of storm reports. So I'll go ahead and click through these just for you really quickly. This is the one that was a storm spotter measuring a wind gust of 60 miles per hour. That was the report coming out of, coming out of San Marcos. And then let's head back up. This is tree limbs and shingles blown off roofs, and that was the one up in right along the northern Travis County line, the Windermere area. And then back in Burnett County, this was Granite Shoals, and this was broken power poles 2 miles northeast of Granite Shoals. And then in Burnett County proper, near Burnett, let me click on this one. And this was 3-inch tree limbs, broken and snapped power poles. And then the ones in Gerald, let me go ahead and clear the other ones. The ones in Gerald were reports of 18-wheeler and cars in the ditch along I-35 2 miles southwest of Gerald. And then there was another report also out of Gerald. I think I clicked on the same one twice. Let me go ahead and zoom in just a little bit more. But honestly, to say that this is the only, thus far, the only reports that we've had, I think that this is actually kind of a good thing, all things considered. Hopefully there weren't more significant consequences, but there you go. And then the other report is I-35 Service Road, Gerald, windows blown out, and windows blown out at the Gerald Fire Station. So I would say if anyone did experience a possible brief tornado, it may have been in Gerald as it was crossing I-35, but we will leave that to the National Weather Service to investigate. Oh, and worth noting, Bell County actually had a slew of other reports a little bit farther to our north. That was with the supercell thunderstorm that actually had a pretty good and long-lived indication of possible rotation and severe weather with it earlier. Okay, so looks as though new warnings have been put in place. Travis County has now been cleared from any warnings. Western Bastrop County has been cleared from warnings. That's great news as well. And you know what? I think if I'm not mistaken, I think my microphone is just about to run out of power. So I believe that the newscast on CBS Austin is just about to wrap up in a few minutes, at which point Austin will be able to kind of keep you all updated on everything as far as the storms are concerned. I just kind of wanted to stick around and make sure to kind of keep you guys abreast of everything, given the fact that I knew he would be super busy with everything that was going on. But the latest from the National Weather Service is they have cleared and canceled the severe thunderstorm warnings for Bayer, Comal, Hayes, and Travis County. And I'm going to put this in motion for you. They have continued the warnings for Bastrop, Caldwell, Fayette, Gonzales, Guadalupe, and Lee counties. Those are still in effect until 11:15 p.m. All right, Joey says, looks like heavy wind. Haven't been able to spot anything. Catch your eye. Let me see, spotted rotation right before the National Weather Service sent out the warning. All right, let's see. Lori was in Minerva and Kyle still passed. Good job. Good deal. All right. I don't think I can scroll any farther north or any farther up on the comments than just like 5 or 6 of them. But anyway, I am going to, at 10:30 right now, I'm going to go ahead and sign off from Facebook Live. And rest assured that Austin Burks has you all covered. He will be off the air shortly, and that way he will be able to kind of dedicate the rest of the evening to keeping you all in the know through Lee County, Bastrop County, Caldwell County, and Fayette County. By the way, PEC has just reported that they do have multiple service interruptions. So there are some outages. That's per Pedernales Electric Cooperative. I know Bluebonnet had some outages. Austin Energy had some outages. So yes, these winds are strong enough to be bothering with the power pole situation and that kind of thing. All right, that is it from me. And hope you all stayed safe. And thank you, as always, for trusting CBS Austin to bring you all the latest and greatest. I know this was a bit unconventional. I planned this day off quite a long time ago, and unfortunately, it turned into a severe weather kind of day, which is never my intention. I never mean to be absent on days when there is severe weather. All right, you can always get the latest